guys, gals, subscribers, casual viewers. Welcome to my channel, and welcome back to those of you who have been with me before. On a little stretch of Tennessee Route 72 here, trying to get from point A to point B. I know a lot of my rides are on roads that have some pretty good twisties on them, and well, this isn't one of them. Okay, so I'm trying to get from A to B. I'm also trying to get out on a really nice July 29th morning. It's sunny, it's cool. I got all my gear on, all gear all the time, which is a really good idea in my opinion, except when it gets too blasted hot to have all that stuff on and start sweating and blah. Don't like that at all. But I do try to wear most of my gear. I got my gloves on, even on a hottest day, when I'm down to a t-shirt, I do wear my gloves. Because if you go off, guarantee you that's probably going to be one of the first things to hit the road is your hands. And road rash on your hands is something you probably don't want. I sure don't. Anyhow. So, what's been up with you guys? Been out for some good rides lately? There's only 2 traffic lights between here and the expressway. What do you bet I hit them both? Some things timing just doesn't work your way, but that's okay. I'm good with it. Anyway, so we continue. I don't really have a destination. Like I said, I'm just out for a ride. Do I need an excuse to get on my trike and take a ride? Boy, I hope not. I'm not going to pile on many miles if I need a real reason every time I swing my leg over the saddle. Now, I'm not like Great Rides. That guy, man, he's got closing in on 50,000 miles in 2 years. Holy cow, that's pretty ambitious. I don't imagine I'll ever get anywhere even close to that. But I try to enjoy what little riding I do. Yep, like I said, second light, and here I am hitting it. Hope this isn't a long one. Come on. I haven't got all day. Change, will ya? So here we go again. This is actually in the town of Loudon, and the county of Loudon, of course, which is where I live. Got to tell you a little story about the little car I used to own. I have a picture of it coming up before too long. It was actually built in 2004 as a replica of a 2000 Porsche 356A Cabriolet. It was built right here in Tennessee, and it's a car I really enjoy. On my channel, there's actually a little sliver of it on the top, where you can see the back end of it going away from the camera. And it was taken on the Dragon. So, cool picture, definitely a cool place to ride. Maybe a little more about that car. It was not really a kit car. I mean, there are a lot of replicas of 57, 58, 59 Porsches out there. And this is really supposed to be a 57. It has the oval taillights, and that's what distinguishes it from the early ones that had the beehives. And that's my beauty right there. That picture was also taken on the Dragon. There's a lot of photographic services that plant themselves along that road, and they take pictures of people, and then they put them up on the hello Mr. State Boy, put pictures up of them for you to look at and hopefully buy some. And I did buy a few once because the quality of the photos is really pretty good. And you can download them and use them in any way you want, so long as it's not for a commercial purpose. But anyway, back to the little Porsche. It was built by a company that used to go by the name of Specialty Auto Works, and later that morphed into Specialty Auto Sports, which is a limited production manufacturer of cars. Now my car, unlike many of the replicas of the old Porsches, is not built on shortened Volkswagen pan. It was actually engineered from the chassis up and designed, rather than as a rear engine using Volkswagen power, it was designed as mid-engine using Subaru power. The one I had happened to be a 2.2 liter with a 5-speed manual transmission, and it is what they call a tail shifter, meaning that the linkage that goes between the shift lever and the transmission is pretty long. And it takes a while, I understand, to get those things adjusted so they work well. And mine was almost motorcycle-like snick, snick, snick between the gears. It was really well done. The car had been from my home in Tennessee to Carlisle, Pennsylvania for a meet 10 times. And it went to Watkins Glen in 2006 for a meet that was dedicated to the Porsche cars. Porsche was the featured mark. And it also went to the West Coast in 2005. Now that was a really ambitious trip. I remember when I got onto the highway, Interstate 40, all I could think of was, what the hell have I gotten myself into? And I allowed myself 5 days, 400-mile average a day more or less. And I figured if I had any issues along the way, I'd be able to resolve them and still be able to make it to the meet. Well, I didn't really have any issues, and I found that most of my stops were for either gasoline or cleaning bugs off the windshield. Believe me, I got a lot of them. This was in April of 2004, and the bugs were out in force. And also, I noticed on one of my gas stops that there was a strange buzzing noise. This is great. This can't be good, right? The car is loaded with electronics because it's a fairly modern engine, and it's going to maybe have something go wrong. Maybe something that would make a buzzing noise. So I said, well, nothing bad has happened yet, so I'll keep going. And I did, and the next time I stopped, I heard the same buzzing sound again. I've really got to find out what this is. So as I searched around the cockpit of the car, I noticed that it was coming from one of the bags I had packed. So I opened it up. It turns out the buzzing sound, was coming from a personal groomer. Well, I have to chalk that one up to experience. It certainly wasn't anything I was expecting. But anyway, other than that, the only other issues I had were it seemed like the engine was running a little hot, and it took me until 2006 to really get that resolved when the cooling system design was worked out. But I did have a problem with what turned out to be a sticking throttle, because the throttle cable had a burr in it. So when I stopped at a stoplight near the hotel I was going to stay in California, the engine was revving between 2,000 and 4,000 back and forth. Yeah, but it was a fairly easy fix once we found out what it was. We put an extra throttle return spring on, and I was good to go. By the time I got to Nashville on the way home, I was doing it again. That little road down there is where the sheriff's range is located, and it's a favorite place of mine to stop and shoot. Just so you know, I am not a deadeye at all. I do like to cut paper, and most of the time I do manage to hit the paper at least, and I'm sure I can hit the broadside of a barn. But the last couple of times I've been out, I was out with my Colt Navy, 1851 Navy, which is a cap and ball revolver. I got a picture of it coming up shortly. It's made by the Uberti company, and I picked Uberti over Pieta because I thought it looked like it was a little more nicely made. People may disagree, but we all have our opinions, don't we? And I've certainly enjoyed handling it. I actually haven't fired it yet, and there's a reason for that. There it is. The reason I haven't is because when I took it out there, first time I was having difficulty with the getting the powder measure to give me the right charge, and so, well, try again, I thought. Next time I went out there, the biting insects were out like crazy. I spent more time swatting than I did trying to load the pistol, which, you know, if you know anything about black powder revolvers, it's fairly involved. So somehow I managed to double ball one of the cylinders, and even though the powder charge was right, and there was no way I had the tools with me to get the extra ball out. So strike two. Third time I'm sure is going to be the charm. For my other weapons, I have a couple of 9s, and I have a 22 target pistol. It's from the 70s. It's the first pistol I ever owned after an 1860 Army revolver I used to have. And it was, now you really couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with that thing because it had the sheriff's barrel on it, which is only 5.5 inches, and it would spray the round balls all over the place. But I'm hoping I'll do better with the Navy 36. John Wayne managed to do pretty good with the Navy 6s he had when he did that final charge across the field. Well, maybe I'll do fairly well with mine as well. But anyway, not much about biking. And here I am sitting, waiting for a left turn signal to turn on. And my trike doesn't weigh enough to turn it on, is what I'm thinking. So here I am looking both ways. Is this light ever going to change? I don't know. Maybe somebody will pull up behind me that's driving a regular vehicle, a car, truck, whatever, and they'll trip the trigger and off I'll go. Well, I don't know if this guy tripped the trigger by being there or not, but we'll see. Anyway, if I look in the mirror, I see I have my own personal ambulance behind me. That's a little unnerving, to say the least. I think, did he go the other way? No, he's following me. That's the sheriff's department right there on the left. It's kind of an important part of my life because I volunteer with the sheriff's department in the COPS program, Citizens Observer Patrol. A lot of fun. Meet some great people. Enjoy myself. But anyway, here's looking at you, folks. Thanks for riding along with me. Have a great day and keep the rubber side down. Speedster Johnny out.